a gig. What does this mean to you to be invited to be a part of this? Oh. Kenny, you want to start?
Well, it's nice to feel that you can be involved, and I think the Clinton administration, they give us the feeling that we can make a difference, that we can get involved, and that it's all right to step forward and say, I've got something to offer. So for us to come here and perform is it's like a dream.
Judy, you know what's really interesting as I think about, I mean, you're one of the faces, the voices of the 60s, and back then, it was kind of them against us, in a sense, and here now you're there performing for your administration.
Yes, I've seen this view that we have behind us many times from this vista. If you know what I mean.
From a group of demonstrators.
Yes, exactly. And I have only seen Washington this excited and the country this excited this time. I mean, this time we're here because we won and because we're celebrating. And it is thrilling to have been invited by President-elect Clinton, President this morning, President Clinton, to participate in this extraordinary event. It's very emotional. It's a great honor, and for me, I feel it's a new beginning for the whole country.
Well, it's going to be a little bit warmer than right now, Marilyn, so you don't have to worry about that. But you've been worried about how cold because the instruments actually freeze at a certain point, right?
They warned me that if it gets too cold, the instruments will freeze up.
And they'd have to play a track, and then hopefully your voice wouldn't freeze up, right?
I said, look, if their instruments freeze up, mine does too.
This is also an instrument, right?
Right.
You played, Kenny, with Bill Clinton. How good is he?
You want the real story, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, Bill Clinton is a very good saxophone player. I'm sorry there's no scandal here.
No, it's great.
He really can play. He's very competent. He's a very good musician. And he's very enthusiastic about his music. When you watch him, when I was performing on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, and there he was looking at me while I played, the enthusiasm that he gives you back, I'm sure that you agree.
Oh, he's amazing.
He's the best crowd to play for.
We kept seeing his reaction shots last night, and you know, it's interesting because he truly is a fan of all of yours, and he really does appreciate music.
That's why we're here.
Now, what does that tell you? What does that tell you about the man, that
he's very open. You know, he came in about a year and a half ago, he came to Chautauqua to see me work, which was the first time that I knew that he was a big fan. And then I performed from about a month ago here in Washington, D.C., and I watched him. He was sitting right down in the front, as he was last night. We could see him right in front of us. This is a very open person who's listening and who's thinking and who's really responding. It makes all the difference in the world.
I think he's human. It shows that he's human. That he has feelings and he cares.
Well, they say something about Clinton, which I think is an extraordinary description of him as a person, that he learns by listening.
Yeah.
And he does. Important. And you can feel him listening and feel him thinking and being a part of what's going on.
All sax players are like that.
That's right. It's a saxophone player in him, right? We'll all be listening today.
But I just want you to know, I met him at a symphony concert.
Oh.
So he's in there for classical music, too.
Okay. I got to jump out here. We'll be listening today, Marilyn. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck,
Enjoy
Marilyn.
it. And we'll be back in just a moment. I'm sitting here with MARILYN HORNE and Judy Collins and Kenny G. They've all been performing at different galas and things, and there's Sunday night you started. And then you're going to be singing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Right.
And you just said, I got to vocalize a little before and get ready for this. Are you a little nervous?
Absolutely. Of course.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
But you had a debut at, I think, age 4, singing at a Democratic function,
That's right. My fate was sealed.
Tell us, where was it?
FDR's second run, I think, at the presidency. And I came full circle because I also sang the Star-Spangled Banner this summer for the opening of the Democratic Convention.
Oh, yes.
But this is your first time singing for an inauguration, right?
This is the first time for me. I want to be a fly on the wall listening to you warm up in your holding room in the Capitol. That's what I want to hear. This is the first time that I've been to Washington for an inauguration, and I'm dazzled. I've been on a pink cloud, I guess, ever since it happened. And yes, it's very exciting to be asked personally to be here.
What issue really got you the most that Clinton brought up during the campaign?
Well, I always thought that Bush made a mistake by calling Gore the ozone man, because I'm such an environmentalist that I always thought that that was a compliment.
Yeah.
I thought that if there's any way that I can participate with my music, my efforts to contribute to helping the environment, I would.
Well, you certainly have been given that chance to participate. Bill Clinton says that Kenny G is one of his absolute most favorite, and he's very excited about that. Nice to see you all. We'll be watching today.
Thank you.
Marilyn. And we'll be back in just a moment with more of Good Morning America, live from Washington, D.C.
To be simple, 'tis the gift to be free, 'tis the gift to come down where you ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and in
What, 20 years ago now, I guess, Bill Clinton heard it and later named his daughter Chelsea.
He did. He named his daughter Chelsea and came to see me in concert about a year and a half ago and came backstage and told me how much he loved my music. Both he and Hillary were there. And then I began to read that he was the kind of a fan who knew exactly the names of all the songs on all the records and had all of them. And it's been a remarkable discovery to find a fan like Bill Clinton.
Think back when you first began to hit it big in the 60s with your music, and of course you were part of the generation, the counterculture. Did you think then that a member of your generation would one day inherit the power of the White House?
Well, I think we were all concerned in trying to shape what was happening. And I don't think you think so much of your peers. Of course, Kennedy had been a young man. And I sang for Kennedy here in Washington, and I certainly thought about his legacy that was unfulfilled for many, many years. But I've been in Washington so many times doing things to try to get the White House to kind of come around on many different issues, and to the country to raise the consciousness, that today when I sat at the inauguration and heard those words and heard Maya Angelou's poetry and looked behind me at this incredible vista of people celebrating change and celebrating chance, I was in tears and I was overjoyed, and I'm so thrilled to be a part of this.
We don't want to keep you here too long because we know you're going on stage to sing Chelsea Morning and
Yes,
Amazing
I
Grace.
am.
And right now we're going to go to the MTV Ball.